mom shorts.
Yeah.
All right.
Because why not?
Mr. and Mrs. Larry Bird, ready?
They're so nice. I like how your tan line's going to go from here to here.
Yep.
Nice legs, Larry.
Thank you.
All right, so this is Meet the Hikers again, man. I'm here with I've been hiking with these guys for a few miles now, and this is Brent and Statira, but tell them your trail names and how you got your trail names.
I'm Pathfinder,
McTwistyflop.
and I got my trail name because I'm always in the lead whenever we're out hiking,
Not getting lost.
not getting lost.
Like some of us.
Like
Like some of us.
like some of us who like to wing it, Blaze. Not
Just
to
saying.
mention any names.
And how'd you get yours?
And I got mine because I sleep very flippy floppy. Back and forth and back.
Not so much anymore, but when we first got on trail, she could not get comfortable, and our air mattresses were super loud.
Yeah, they're still pretty loud.
Yeah.
So are you going to be a flippy floppy in the hammock?
We're going to find out. I'm going to be the one that, like, you're going to hear this just boom, and then shoot. And then 30 minutes later, thunk. Damn.
So you guys are out here with the Warrior Expedition.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that and how you guys found out about it and what they do.
Okay, so one day Statira was just browsing the internet. We were driving from our home in El Paso, Texas to Dallas, Texas to visit our grandkids. And she did a search for outdoor veteran programs because we're both Army veterans, several deployments, combat. And she saw this program called the Warrior Expedition. And what they offered is they have 9 different hiking trails in the U.S. that they cover to include the Triple Crown, PCT, Continental Divide, AT, 9/11, post 9/11 Memorial Trail, which links all 3 of the sites of 9/11 attacks in one hiking trail loop. The Arizona Trail, like I said, there's 9 different hiking trails. Plus they have the Warrior Bike, which is you ride the Great American Rail Trail from DC to Washington State, and the Warrior Paddle, which is the length of the Mississippi in a kayak, canoe, some sort of boat, with all the gear supplied and all the logistics taken care of, and they just give you what you need and send you out to hike.
So what is the purpose of Warrior Expedition?
Well, kind of to give you the purpose, I could tell you the story of how it was founded. The guy who started it, Sean, he was a Marine veteran. He had deployed several times, got out of the Marines. Through the course of his military career, he kind of lost his faith in humanity. Being deployed, you tend to see the darker side of humanity firsthand, and it's really tough for a lot of veterans and a lot of, I'm sure, first responders and police as well, anyone who's in that type of environment. But at any rate, he had lost his faith in humanity, and he got out of the Marines and put on a backpack and decided to hike the AT. And he just came out here to do it, and over the course of it, through interacting with other hikers and trail angels and hostel owners and things like that, he realized that there were still good people out there, and it regained his sense of there is good in humanity. And he found it very healing for himself as a PTSD sufferer. And so he thought that it would be a great thing to get more veterans out there, to get them the nature therapy that he got. So he started a nonprofit organization, Warrior Expeditions, and now it's his goal to get as many veterans out on the trail as he can support throughout the year. Like I said, 9 different foot trails, the bike and the paddle, and he's out here putting veterans on the trail.
And all he wants to do is he wants you to be happy. You don't have to complete any of it. as long as you come out better than what you started, it doesn't matter if you walk a mile, it doesn't matter if you walk thousands of miles. If you walk out better, then he's happy. He's not asking for anything in return.
So I have a theory that you could be happy or content in any situation regardless of the circumstances, but have you guys found the trail? And I know you guys have gone through your own transformation, and have you found the trail to be therapeutic?
Absolutely. I've been out of the military now for 12 years and do weekly counseling sessions, and speaking to a counselor about how was my week, and things like that. And I found that for me, I really wasn't getting anywhere just talking about how my week was. At least I didn't feel like I was. But just in the first couple of weeks of being out here on the trail, being in nature, being around people who are all on the same course as I am, seeing the same things, and just excited to be living this experience, I got more out of the first 2 weeks on this trail than I have out of 12 years of weekly counseling. And that was just the first 2 weeks. And here we are almost 2 months in, and 500 plus miles, and every day just keeps getting better. It's just amazing.
So what's your mantra every day?
So every day we wake up and we tell ourselves, today is a very good day, just to have a good day all day long. And we've been living that mantra actually since Max Patch, mile 250. And every morning we wake up, we smile at each other, we tell each other today is a great day to have a good day all day long. And that's what we try to do every day. It doesn't matter what the weather looks like. It doesn't matter how rocky or steep the course is, for the day.
Or how heavy
Well, it
the
does
pack
to some of
feels.
us. It matters to some of us.
And you still feel it, of course.
Yeah, you're still sucking wind.
But we look at it as every step that we're taking on this is another moment of this experience. And we wouldn't trade this experience for the world, because we're so blessed to be able to experience this. And so even if it's downpouring rain and we're shivering with a smile on our face, because we get to experience this firsthand. This isn't video. This isn't like VR. This is for real. You're feeling everything that nature has given to you, and we're just being part of it. And how amazing is that? When nature is watering its garden full of beautiful flowers, you're walking in the garden while it's being watered. How amazing is that?
Yeah, we got to see it from no leaves on the tree to as green as you could possibly be now.
We get to walk through this human herding. What do we call it?
The human game trail.
Game trail migrating north right now, right? And you get to see nature happening. You get to see nature coming alive around you. The grass is coming up. The birds are coming out. The squirrels are bouncing from tree to tree like a cat after its milk, bimbly bimbly like. And you get to see this happening with your own eyes. And we walked through that whole section yesterday, and it was just flowers blooming everywhere. Mm-hmm. When was the last time you just stopped and looked at a flower and just appreciated it for a flower?
Every day since we've been out here.
Every day since we've been out here. But prior to that, you just walk past it and you don't even notice it.
So what has been your favorite part so far?
Scenery-wise, or what? Overall?
It's your answer.
The trail, period. Every day of it. Even the days that we told ourselves there's no such thing as bad days anymore on this trail. We have processing days, because we're only human.
Yeah.
We still have our thoughts to deal with, our memories and what have you. We have processing days, but that's not a bad thing. Mm-hmm. We're out here for healing. We're out here to process.
Yeah, I have a saying that days aren't good or bad, they're just days, right?
Yeah.
It's only us that labels them as good or bad, and and it has nothing to do with the weather or the trail itself. It's us.
It's the perception that you create based on
It's the
your
story we tell
experience.
ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as long as we keep that mental mantra of today is a very good day, just have a good day. We don't even have to say it anymore. We might just look at each other and say all day long, and we both just smile, or we say smiles on faces, you know. It doesn't matter that we say it because we're already smiling from ear to ear anyway, but it's just that reminder of the day is what you make of it.
So being a married couple out here, and I know you guys act as like a unit, and I don't know how long that took to for you guys to become one and operate as one out here, but I think it's pretty special, and just talk about the challenges of being two individual people like merging out here as one in 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And
Cool.
See, I think our relationship's a little bit odd comparatively to others, because from the moment that we met each other, we zinged, and we've always been kind of on that same wavelength. And so when we came out on trail, it was just we're dealing with our own emotional issues that was causing the separation between us. But I don't think we've ever really been separate since we met.
No. And since the day we exited the military, because we're both retired out of the military, we spend 24 hours a day, 7 days a week together. We don't, except, obviously when we go to the restroom and things like that.
There is a line you have to draw.
But
like number
even when we have
know.
even when we have doctor's appointments, we attend each other's doctor appointments.
Because you guys retired at the same time, so pretty much.
Give or take, yeah.
Within 2 years of each other, yeah. But our time in the military, we spent so much time separated that we swore to each other that once we were out, we wouldn't be separate anymore. And we've kept that promise to each other of staying together. And, the nice thing is we still like each other. We'll always love each other. We're spouses. We're celebrating our 25th wedding anniversary out here. But you got to still like the person too, and we're blessed to like each other.
So I don't think we've really had any of those days where it's like, oh, you need to hike your own hike by yourself, and I need distance from you because you're overwhelming, or you're making me upset, or I just can't stand the sight of you at this moment. Like we haven't gotten to that.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting if we ever do.
I don't think so.
It'd be something, but I don't think that'll ever happen.
Yeah.
I mean, the first 2 weeks on trail was horrible. It was hell. It was so hard, and Brent had to do practically everything almost the whole way. So, I don't know. It just kind of solidified that he's here for me and I'm here for him.
Mm-hmm.
So why would we want to be separate from each other? And I've never felt the need to be like, get away from me.
Yeah.
Unless it's those nights where it's like 17 hot dogs, 8 in an afternoon, and I'm like, your et tu bouteille does not smell good right now. Like you might need to put some of you outside of the tent for a little bit.
So, real quick, because I think it's fascinating, like a lot of your story. Talk to me about some of the things that you've tried post-military in order, consciously or subconsciously, to deal with some of the issues you've had.
Okay.
We tried every medication they would prescribe us. We tried medications that might not be so legal in some states. We tried yoga,
meditation.
What about your gym therapy and the lengths
Yeah,
you went through in that?
So when I first got out of the military, my last few years in the Army, I really got into competitive powerlifting. I competed at meets like in Kuwait and things like that, or on post meets. And so I really got into powerlifting, and the gym at the time helped me cope with my PTSD. If I was angry, I would go and take it out on the iron. you know, or if I was dealing with whatever was going on, I'd go take it out on the iron. And it got to the point where we didn't feel like we were comfortable in public gyms, commercial gyms, so we ended up opening our own gym that catered to powerlifters and bodybuilders. And we trained athletes in powerlifting.
But we were at the gym 6 days a week for 12 hours, and we were lifting the whole time, just every day. And we couldn't go on family vacations without planning the family vacation around where the gyms were.
Yeah.
And we had to eat at a certain time, and we had to prep all of our food, and it took up all of our time. But that's how we were dealing with the emotions and memories we didn't want to deal with. We
So
pushed
looking
it
back
that
now,
way.
was that just another
It was a coping mechanism.
Just
temporary
another tool.
coping mechanism that eventually
Well,
ran its course?
it ran its course because we realized that we developed really bad body dysmorphia, where we would look in the mirror and I was still seeing a scrawny, 5'9", 87 pounds when I graduated from high school at 19 years old. That's who I still saw in the mirror, even though at the time I'm a 40-some-year-old, 6'4", 285 pounds with 7% body fat power lifter. I didn't see that when I looked in the mirror. I saw that little kid, and my rational mind was saying, no, dude, you're jacked, you're huge. Everyone's telling you you're huge, but when I look in the mirror, the reflection I'm seeing back is completely contrary to what I know is real. And so we decided that the gym was not a healthy place for us mentally anymore, because we were just developing more problems. We already had enough problems to deal with the PTSD and everything. We didn't need, identity crises to go on as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we closed the gym, but we still needed that physical outlet. So we got into trail running and Spartan racing. We ran OCR races and trail ran, 100K, 100-mile races.
And then that ran its course.
ran its course.
So your insides didn't match your outsides.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We were just looking for something that was going to challenge us physically enough that it forced us to deal with the emotional challenges that was going on that we were hiding from.
Yeah.
So powerlifting, it didn't work. Trail running, ultra running didn't work. Obstacle course racing didn't work.
It was fun.
It was fun. It was great.
Challenging. It was great. If you would get the adrenaline rush from it. It was such a rush, but it was just like hitting a heavy weight in the gym. You get that rush, you get that shot of adrenaline because, hey, I hit a PR, and then now
it's
what?
gone.
Now
And
it's
you feel
time to
sad.
try to add more weight, but you've got to wait till next week because you got to recover before next deadlift day,
Mm-hmm.
And you run a race, and then it's like, now what? Well, now I've got to do a whole bunch of practice running just to hope that I can enter the lottery for the next race. And it was just chasing after something, and then eventually we turned to yoga, and we went and got certified as yoga instructors, and
And it was amazing.
It was amazing
for a time.
but it still wasn't feeding what we needed.
So how do you guys approach the trail? Is another conquer? Is it
No.
the gym?
Absolutely not.
No. No, this time we did it. We came at the trail with a different mentality. We came at the trail as not a challenge, but therapy.
Yeah, we came
So
out
our
here.
therapy is going to be at our pace and where we want it to be.
Yeah, and we're not a white blaze purist. We're not a person who has to touch every single white blaze and step every single step of the 2,197 miles that is the AT officially. We're just going from Georgia to Maine, and we're going to see the sights along the way. Whatever nature provides to us, whatever the trail puts before us, we're going to experience it. If that means aqua blazing, we're going to aqua blaze. If that means whitewater rafting, we're going to whitewater raft. If that means going for a mountain bike ride in a town where they rent mountain bikes, we'll go and do that too.
Or a Dirty Heads concert.
Or a Dirty Heads concert that happened to be
Just
along
saying,
the way.
Dirty Heads. Could use some
We know you're on
tickets.
tour, and we're hoping we get there in time.
Just throwing it out there. But take it how you will. But we're saying.
But it's all about the experience, and we're all about making every single moment, not just day, but every single moment of this experience as much of an amazing experience as we possibly can. That means having a positive interaction with every single human being we interact with. Every single being, period, that we interact with, whether it be this blade of grass, the trees that we're walking with, the squirrels, the birds. It doesn't matter. The mountains themselves, we're interacting with them in a positive way as best we can because we want to have that positive feedback, you know.
In the micro sense, has your faith in humanity been restored?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I came out here thinking that everybody is selfish. There's no such thing as a selfless act because in the end you want to feel good, so you're going to do X, Y, Z, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's always an ulterior motive. Nobody's truly a good person because everybody wants something from somebody else. And whether you do it consciously or not, you're going to manipulate a situation to your best interest. So people were terrible. People were horrible. People were colostomy bags. I didn't want to be around that. And then we come out here and I see people and I'm like, all right, just give them a chance. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe they're not so scary after all. Mm-hmm. And then you meet the people that are like, we just packed up our car and we bought all of this hundreds of dollars of food and we drove it here just to give it to you. And they're like, they're appreciative, and I mean, ultimately, yeah, it makes them feel good, but they're spending their money and they're spending their time where they could be hanging out with their family, they can be hanging out with their friends, they could be at their job working extra money or extra hours to get extra money. But they're not choosing to do that. They're choosing to hang out with a bunch of dirtbag hikers who smell bad.
Yeah, so last night I go to Walmart and I didn't have a ride back here, and the first person I asked, you know, I said, hey, do you know how I could get a ride back up here? And he gave me a ride with his granddaughter and his wife, you know, up the mountain up here. And the people that just did Trail Magic, one was from New York, Rochester, New York, one was from Florida, and I can't remember where Seinfeld was from, but they hiked last year, and they came out here for a weekend or for a couple of days to camp and reunite and be there for us. And that's pretty cool. And even that girl Marianne and her husband Clint from New Jersey to cut hair.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it's pretty special, and there's some magic in the trail for sure.
Absolutely.
And it's not just, you know, the people that go out of their way to help you, but it's the other hikers. And, you know, you come across people where they're 71 years old and they're smashing 25 miles a day, and you're just like, what are you eating? Like, how are you doing this?
The blind German guy passed me.
Yeah, a blind German guy is passing. Excuse me, can you get out of the way? And you're like, well, I feel really terrible right now. But you're so proud of that person because they're killing it. And then that motivates you, even if you're having a hard time. Just somebody's walking past you with a smile on their face, and it just pulls you up a little bit.
All right, so Warrior Expedition, what are the benefits? What do they provide for you? Communication, what are the responsibilities?
So basically, they provided all of the equipment for us. They gave us, you know, we have sponsors through Granite Gear, Big Agnes, Outdoor Research, just to name a few. They provide us with the gear, as well as full support. If we have any gear failures, we just contact Big Agnes or our actual gear supporter through Warrior Expeditions, and they coordinate everything to get the gear fixed or replaced, whatever the case may be. So we're supported gear-wise.
And then they give us this big old spreadsheet for community supporters, where it's other veterans or other people that just want to support the veteran community, and they offer it's pretty short distances through the whole length of the trail.
Yeah, about every 30 miles, give or take.
So.
They offer rides. They offer lodging in their own homes or neighbors' homes. They offer home-cooked meals. They offer, you know, shuttle trips down to resupply. Some of them even come out of pocket and pay for your resupply for you, which of course is not expected, but it's amazing what people are willing to provide.
So you get that, and then all they ask for us is wear the gear that they give you, the clothing, you know, so that you're representing
Warrior Expedition.
You know, well, that and the companies that are donating the gear to you, you know, you're showing everybody else on trail that this is good equipment, right? So it's advertisement for them, which is great. And Warrior Expeditions wants us to take a picture of where we are, you know, having a great time on
trail.
trail.
A shared drive so they can keep track of us.
And they can post it
for their social media stuff, just to keep the word out there that we're out here. So people can follow us on social media, because we don't have social media. We've gotten rid of all of our social media except for a YouTube channel for our own friends and family back home to track our progress, so we don't have to send plethora of text messages. But you know,
I mean, that's really it. They're just really like, just wear the gear. If anybody asks you about Warrior Expeditions, just tell them your experience on it.
How many of you are out here right now?
So this year we had 20 hikers. 2 groups of 10 hit the AT. Then there's 10 on the paddle and 10 on the.
Well, that's regardless.
Yeah,
but
regardless. There's 20 hikers on trail this year.
And how do you apply if you're a veteran?
You go to warriorexpedition.com or .org. I can't remember if it's an org or a .com. But go to you can Google it, Warrior Expeditions, and just the website's very intuitive. It says apply right here, and you just click it, apply. You send in the application, and then they schedule you for a video interview, so they can kind of see your face and see what kind of personality you've got. Make sure that you're going to be a good fit for the program, because obviously they want people out here who represent the program well and is going to benefit from what the program has to provide.
All right, the dreadlocks. How long did it take?
We've been growing the dreads for 5 years now. Yeah. We palm roll it. We do each other's hair. I've palm rolled all of hers.
Before I leave this trail, I'm gonna have at least one on there.
You're gonna end up with everybody's gonna have
baby
dreads. You're gonna have a dreadlock family.
All right. Yeah. Who is the most unprepared hiker you've met on trail?
Wing it.
Wing it.
No.
Unprepared. Jeez.
You know,
I don't know. I don't know if we've met any like.
Yeah, we've met a few, but I won't call out names. I don't want to
maybe
embarrass
unprepared,
anybody.
But they're still on trail.
Yeah, they're
like
still doing it.
They might have. I think everybody was unprepared to step on trail, and then you figure it out a little bit as you go along.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think we've ran across anybody so far that's like, I am shocked you're still alive. Like you.
Who was the clumsiest hiker on trail?
Wing it. Who's got the most bendy, ankles? Wing it. It rolls it so many times that it's like becoming
and you
elastic.
understand because you had some leg pain for a while, right?
Yeah, I had some pretty bad shin pain. First it was the right foot. That went on for a week and a half or so, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And then I had one day where I felt good, and I was just climbing up mountains and sending it down mountains, and I was like, this is what pain-free hiking feels like. It's amazing.
I can't wait for that day.
And then the next day, my left foot was like, yo, what's up? I'm right here. We're no longer pain-free. And I was like, oh, man, that was a nice ride while it happened.
But the nice thing about it is it kept us slow until the hiker hunger actually legitimately set in.
Yes.
Once the hiker hunger set in, her shins were good, and we were good to go.
Yeah. You've been in hiker hunger since the moment I met you.
That's true.
Yeah, well, some of that's
that
hiker
is
hunger,
true.
some of that's just normal Brent hunger. Them years of powerlifting and doing all the running and everything, I've built up a pretty good appetite.
All right, do you want to share your YouTube channel or?
Sure, it's at Dreaded Adventures 1 on YouTube.
Dreaded Adventures.
Dreaded Adventures.
Has a little bit of our skating the PCH.
Yeah, took our son on the Pacific Coast Highway skate trip. Cut short because I fell off my skateboard and broke my wrist.
Like 20 feet. into Venice.
And
It
I
was
fell
like
down.
right
Yeah.
there.
We had
And then
just
he was
got
like,
to Venice and bloop,
So
broke my
I
wrist.
remember when my son was like 8, and it had been a while since I'd been on a skateboard. They had a new skate park, and I was showing him how to drop into a half pipe, and it was the last time I tried to drop into a half pipe. It didn't feel so good hitting the ground.
No, it doesn't. But, you know, you just got to get up and keep going.
Yeah.
So, safe to say you're winging it more today than you were when you first came out
Absolutely, absolutely. When we first came out here, you know, we came out here with the purpose of therapy, like she said. But the therapy was on the AT. It was on the trail, or so we thought. And then we met Wing It and heard about his misadventure of Wing It blazing, and saw the pictures that you showed us that you got that no one else on the AT got to see. And that made us realize, you know what, it's not just about the AT White Blaze Trail, it's about everything these mountains have to offer. And you reminded us that it's okay to play, just have a good time. I mean, we were having a good time anyway, but you stepped it up a notch once we encountered you.
And I didn't even realize that. I usually pick up on these synchronicities, but had I not winged it blaze that day, had I not walked that 18 miles, I wouldn't have met Papa Smurf.
You
I
wouldn't have met us.
Luke. I wouldn't have met Princess, and I wouldn't have met you guys.
Yeah.
You know, so I believe we're always in the right place, regardless. You know, and some of our best events. I mean, we manifested a bear on
A bear, a whole
on
living
Aqua
bear.
Blazing, yeah.
an aqua blaze, man.
Yeah, we were out on a lake. Who sees a bear on the lake?
We've been
And
manifesting a lot lot of dumb things lately, though.
Yeah.
Like rocks. And,
Like, I don't want to walk on a flat, nice, cushiony trail. I want to walk on a whole bunch of rocks. It's going to lower my ankle.
And so they appear. Thanks, Hallie.
King of manifestation.
All right, man. Kids, you guys want to say hi to your kids or mention your kids at all?
Yeah, so we have 3 kids at home, 2 grandkids.
Hello, Damien. Hello, Devar. Hello, Willie. We love you and miss you.
Yes.
Hello, Chloe. Hello, Bjorn. We love and miss you too.
So a lot of veterans are out there struggling with PTSD and things like that. Not just veterans. Everybody out here has a story. Right?
Yeah.
Like, recommend the trail and warrior expedition to
Absolutely.
If you are at that stage in your life where you're really thinking that ending it is the best solution, before you do that, give the AT a try. Like a wholehearted effort. And just give it a chance. And then your life is yours from that point on. But if you're at that point, it doesn't matter who you are, it doesn't matter where you are in life. If you're willing to take your life, you should be willing to walk on a trail and give it a try. That's it. Just give it a try.
See what happens.
All right, man. Love you guys.
Love you too, Hallie.
Ditto.